It is the Flow Friday Sports Show, and it is the big dance this weekend in North Central Netball, and none other than our resident expert on all things North Central Netball, Jenna Allen, now joins us to talk all about it. Jenna, you must be excited.
Very excited. First grand final obviously for a very long time, or what feels like a very long time. So, we're just thrilled to be back at this point. So it's great.
It's weird, isn't it? It's weird to think back to 2019 being the last time that we're all so swept up by finals fever.
Yeah, definitely. And there's a lot you sort of, forget. It is a really big deal, and it's a long build up from start to finish. So to the teams that are in, well, I'm particularly jealous. I wish I was playing this week. What a great thing to have competitive community sport back.
Yeah, let's all just celebrate the fact that we've got it back. Let's talk about last weekend's results. So we've got our A-grade lineup for the grand final, which is going to see Wedderburn taking on Charlton. So I'm very interested to know how we came to this point. So just unpack the action from the A-grade games on the weekend.
Yeah, so we had Sea Lake take on Charlton in the prelim last weekend at Charlton. It was a terrific defensive game, very low scoring, a lot of back and forward, really, really impressive netball, particularly from the two defensive ends, as I said. The two goal defences ended up with best on court for either of their sides and played some really lovely netball. So it was great to watch, really well umpired, nice and fast across the middle. But in the end, only 4 separated them, and it was probably only really the last 10 minutes that sort of Charlton started to really put Sea Lake back in their place. They got a lot of confidence in the last half, particularly with their goaling. They were shooting from anywhere and then following up really strongly. So Ash Roberts again was terrific for Sea Lake across the middle. Sophie Perryman for Sea Lake in goal attack was also very impressive. Just a bit of inaccuracy from Sea Lake really let them down. A few unforced errors across the middle there. But for Charlton, Chloe Walsh in goal shooter, if she can keep that form going and make sure she's got the form that she had in the last half and in the prelim right from the get-go this weekend, Wedderburn are going to have a real struggle on their hands.
Now, we'll talk about some of the other grades, the results in the other grades, and what I'm particularly swept up by here is the fact that in all grand finals this weekend, we've got a true representation of the two best sides from each of the minor round seasons, which is certainly not something that you usually get. You usually get that sort of case of a Stephen Bradbury, but we don't have any outsiders in any grand finals. It's 1v2 in every single one of them, Jenna.
It is, which is great because, I mean, with COVID this year and the interruptions we've had with a lot of teams trying to juggle players in and out, I think it's great to see 1v2 in all grades. Just really demonstrates that the talent that we've got, they've been able to sort of pull through, as you're saying. Finals are a very different ball game, and we've seen nerves across the board for the start of every game, pretty much every week. So it's really good to see our 1v2 get the result that they're after at the end of finally a full home and away season, which is good.
So just tell us who we've got in some of those grand finals, Jenna.
Yeah, so starting with A grade, so we've got Wedderburn, undefeated Wedderburn still taking on Charlton. In the B grade, we've got Wedderburn in a very strong B grade Wedderburn side that would probably challenge most A grade sides, to be honest, taking on Donald, who are a really terrific mix of youth and experience and have been playing some really impressive netball through the finals. So that'll be a terrific game. In the C grade, we have Donald, who narrowly beat Wedderburn in the prelim, to then be taking on Sea Lake, which is another terrific little side. In the juniors, we have the two Donald sides taking on Birchup in the 17A. And for the 17B, we've got Donald v. Bort. And in the 14 and under A, we have Witchyproof, our wonderful little 14s taking on the Birchup Watcham Bulls, who are still undefeated in that grade as well. So a really good spread of teams, some really great up-and-coming netballers, particularly in our junior ranks. Some of our, particularly our Donald 17A girls, are going to then step up and play a second game in B grade on the day, which is really good for our standard of netball that they're able to do that so easily. And I think, it's really good across the board that we've got that sort of talent.
So all these games taking place in Witcher-proof, Jenna. Before we get to the A grade preview, just give us some of your tips for the other grand finals from the other grades.
Well, I think for B grade, I think it's going to be close, but I think in the final quarter, it'll be Laurel Prowse that pulls away for Wedderburn, and I think Wedderburn will win the B grade. In the C grade, I think C grade games have been tightly contested, 1 or 2 goals of difference right throughout the final series. I think it'll be the same way, but I think Sea Lake have got it in them to win their very first ever netball premiership within our league, which would be terrific for them to do. I think in the 17As, it'll be a close game again. I just think Donald's youth and their experience that they're getting at senior level is going to be too strong for Birchip. In the 17Bs, I think Donald will be too strong again. I think they'll have the 2 wins in the 17s. And for the 14s, I'm definitely backing our little legends from Witchy-proof. They've got to get the win. They're going to take down Birchip's undefeated run on the one day that it matters.
There we have it. Sensational work. The A grade final. Let's preview this. So a massive game. It's 1v2, as we mentioned, Jenna. I mean, you could throw a coin really, but let's get your insights. Who wins?
Well, I think I'm going to tip to the upset, and I'm going to go with Charlton on the basis of watching both sides. A terrific game in the second semi-final. I think Charlton has definitely learnt some lessons. They had full control of the game for 3 quarters, and they let some unforced errors change their momentum and change the way they attacked the ball in the final quarter when it mattered. And I think Meg Lowry as coach for Wedderburn being on court, it's a little bit harder to sort of, you can lead your team on court with momentum, but if things quickly swing, I think the Charlton girls have got really great off-court observing eyes in Kim Fitz and Erin McGurk, and I think they're going to cause an upset on Saturday.
There we have it. Jenna Allen with the big call. Jenna, great to speak with you again. We can't wait to review how all these grand finals went with you next week. Enjoy all the action, and thanks so much for your time here on the Flow Friday Sports Show.
No worries at all.